that really impacts every single thing that we care about, and most people don't even know what it is. Yeah. It's sort of a new thing that is coming forth. So I want everyone, wherever you are, to comment right now if you're like,
what the Smurf is dopamine?
What the Smurf? No, but just say, yes, I know what it is, or no idea. I mean, I'm interested to learn about this.
It's a hot topic. People talk about it a lot because everyone's on their phone death scrolling. And you've probably heard this like dopamine fast, or you've probably heard the word.
I don't know if they have, babe. It's a pretty new thing. It's just like, what? And what do you guys think dopamine is? Because we all have this idea of what it is. Like, it's like a pleasure system, like bing, oh, pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. That's what dopamine. But actually, dopamine is directly related to your motivation.
Yes.
So if anyone in this room, you can nod if you're on Zoom with us, or you can be like, that's me, or whatever. If anyone's lacking motivation, if you know what you want to do or need to do to make your life better, but instead you might, let's just watch a little Netflix, or let's do a little scroll, or let's just have a nap instead. Let's, if you're doing all of these, have a drink, drugs, porn, sex,
smoking, high sugary foods, high sugar, tasty foods, snacks.
If anyone is doing any of those things, no shame here. You can be like, yep, that's me. So that's if you like sugary things, if you like anything that has an addictive...
Who doesn't like sugary things? I mean,
some people.
Kate doesn't like cake. That's a funny fact about Kate.
No,
Kate doesn't like cake.
Or cookies, or any baked goods. It's just not my thing.
You liked banana cake, what you call a banana loaf.
Yeah, and I tell you why. When most people are addicted to cookies and cakes and things like that because they had an experience either with their mom, their grandma, someone like that, an emotional experience that connected them to love. And so now love and these sweet treats is connected. So you have the cake and you're like, oh, grandma, oh, mama, whatever it is, it connects you to that emotion. And it's all the brain. So what we want to share with you in this short little space, we're going to power pack it.
Power pack.
This is not going to be a Kate and Paul long session. It's going to be a power pack session. What we want to share with you is what the brain is doing and why the lack of motivation or the lack of drive actually isn't your fault. It is a mechanism of the brain and dopamine depletion because that is directly connected to your motivation. So stick around.
Yeah.
We're gonna share all that and share how to get out of it and how to reclaim your life and your relationships because it doesn't only impact your motivation. Mm-hmm. It impacts your connection, your relationships, everything you actually care about is connected to this. So if it is controlling you, which it is controlling, I would say 95% of the population in one way or another, and I'm talking sugar, drugs, alcohol, smoking,
death scrolling,
food,
crystal meth. I mean, not a lot. Not
social media.
There's more on crystal meth later because there's a really interesting kind of comparison to how your death scrolling affects your dopamine system in the way that crystal meth would. Should I share that now or after?
No, after.
Okay,
after.
This is exciting. No, I got this other thing about like a tiger out looking for water. I got a whole thing about that. Okay, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait.
Well, we need the tiger looking for water.
Yeah.
Okay, so does anyone like, okay, I kind of understand what you're talking about now. This makes a little bit of sense. Your dopamine is directly, basically what happens is if you are anticipating something that is exciting. So like you anticipate your morning coffee, you anticipate meeting a new person you're dating, you anticipate something exciting that will bring you motivation, and it raises your dopamine levels. Even the anticipation can raise it pretty much as high as the actual dopamine
Well,
hit.
It's more so, it's not, people think dopamine's a reward for when you get the thing, but dopamine's released in the pursuit of the thing. So the pursuit of sex, the pursuit of food, like our animals, or if our ancestors were in a cave and they were running out of food and running out of water, they would need the motivation to go find it. And that is the dopamine system that gets you amped up to go finding the food and the water or the sex or whatever you're looking for. It's not, people think when they get it, they get this rush of dopamine, but you actually get it to them, be motivated to go get the thing. Yeah. That's what blew my mind. I didn't understand your dopaminergic, what? Dopaminic system. There's a system. Dopaminic. There we go. Dopagenic system. Your dopamine system. I thought that you would get it at the reward, but you get it to get the thing.
Do you know the only thing that doesn't... So nearly every single thing that we anticipate that we want, something like that we want, it raises just as much in the wanting as the receiving, except for cocaine and amphetamines.
Is that right?
Because that opens up within 10 seconds, apparently. So I've just been learning all this stuff. It opens up like 1,000%, or it's so
1,000 times.
And that's why those drugs are so addictive, because the minute, and here's the key point with all of this, the minute you get your dopamine hit, so you're anticipating dopamine's rising, you're trying to get to it, you get your morning cup of joe, rush, caffeine, all of that stuff happens, and then automatically what has to happen is a dopamine drop, because we can't stay at those levels. So then you drop. And so that's why if you scroll a lot, you then are like,
your baseline of where your dopamine sits keeps going lower and lower and lower.
And then you need to scroll more and more to try and get more of the hit, more of the excitement, and you keep going lower. And so that's why something like cocaine goes so high and then drops, and then so that's why they're like, I need more. And then the second time they do it, the third time, the fourth time, it's never as strong as the first time. So it's like there's a constant craving, and that's why dopamine is responsible for our motivation. It's also responsible for addiction. And so that's why these things like porn, sex, drugs, coffee, caffeine, food, sugar, scrolling, social media, all of these things
gossiping
are addictive, because your brain's like dopamine center it's the same thing. So that's why 95% of the population are suffering. If you have anxiety, it's dopamine depletion. If you have, like all of these things add up to this. And so that's why we wanted you to understand what it is, so you know how to move yourself away from it, so you can reclaim your life. Because I want to use myself as an example. No, I'm going to do that in a minute. I'm going to do that in a minute, because I just experienced this. And
share that.
And honestly, you get your life back.
Yeah.
In the most profound way, and you don't even realize. So I'll share that story in a minute as to how it worked for me, because I always test everything on myself. We don't ever put anything out to clients unless and our people, unless we've tested on ourselves. Pearl and I have, and I learned this from this guy. This guy's a human guinea pig for all things body. He figures out how to hack systems so that he can have the most amount of joy while getting the results that he wants.
Least amount of effort with the most amount of results. I think that's more what she's trying to say. And enjoy it. I have to enjoy whatever I'm doing, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
And and funnily enough, part of the way out of dopamine depletion is doing hard things. So that's a whole nother sidetrack. We will get back to that.
But I think I make hard things look easy.
Yeah. You choose to enjoy hard things because you like the results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a gift to be able to work out hard or do pull-ups or lift heavy. I feel like it's such a privilege to be able to exercise, and we look at it as a punishment. But one day you'll look back at your body and be like, I can't believe I used to be able to do that. So when it's these are the good old days, especially when it comes to using our physical bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so modern day living is engineered for spikes. Spikes in cortisol, spikes in needing dopamine, and then dopamine depletion. And so we're constantly riding this crazy roller coaster. And no wonder everyone's full of anxiety or depression or all of these things, is because your dopamine you haven't figured out how to raise your baseline.
Yeah.
And avoid, look at everyone with their phones now. You go to a restaurant, two people that should be having a beautiful meal together and connecting, they're both sitting there scrolling. People can't sit on a bus and look out the window anymore, or a train. Everyone's scrolling, or in their phones, or in work mode, or whatever they're doing. And it is disconnecting us from life and ourselves. And so is all the other things. Alcohol, all of Netflix, TV, all of these things are disconnecting, and we're wondering why we're suffering, why we feel anxious, why we feel depressed and things like this. So this is part of it. And so we're going to share with you how to get out of that. And guess what? The best thing is anyone can do it. Anyone can do it at any point. It's not, you don't have to get some fandangle thing. You don't have to be on some, massive protocol. It's pretty simple, as long as you have the desire to want your life back, to want deeper connection with your loved ones and your family members. If you want what matters to you back, you want to have a sense of purpose and a pride back. If you want that, it's easy.
To actually get joy from, live like you're alive in a sense, and really enjoy your way through. You do have to raise your baseline of dopamine, and most people are depleted from how much they spend. A lot of it is death scrolling. This morning I was going into Gold's Gym just because they have heavier weights there than we have at home, and I was looking down at my phone.
And he was
hold on. But just to play the Huberman Labs thing on dopamine, I listened to this a while back, and I wanted to refresh myself on it. So I was looking down just after I saw 4 or 5 people on their phones like this, and I look up, and I'm this far from Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he actually looked like grumpy that I was looking down at my phone, learning about not looking down at your phone. I literally walked in. He's there with his bicycle and his helmet and his bodyguard. And I just looked at a guy on their phone. I looked down to push Huberman to refresh myself on this episode. And I look up, and literally Arnold is 7 inches from my face. Almost like this, like grumpy that I was looking down at my phone. This just happened.
And you know what? It was really funny too. I was listening to Huberman again just to get more magic about this. And one of the hard things he's done is to stop taking his phone into the gym. Because he's like, I would play my music or a podcast, or I would look down, but I was being distracted, and I was taking way longer to do my workouts than if I just went in there, listened to the music in the room, did my workout, got it done, and got out of there. And then I was able to give more muscle, I was paying more attention rather than my brain needing to be entertained while I'm doing the thing. So
I've actually listened to Huberman in that gym when Huberman was in that gym. That's the gym that he goes to as well. And I was like, this is so different. I didn't tell him, but yeah.
You're like, I'm listening to you right now. Only you would do something like that. I would not. I'd be too cool.
I walked up to RFK there, and I got a really ridiculous picture with him. And the day you told me not to wear that shirt, you're like, don't wear that shirt, remember? It's like holes all over it. And that's like my selfie with RFK Jr.'s with a holy shirt.
So if your experience, who here, can you just say yes or thumbs up or whatever's there good for you on if you experience procrastination in any way, shape, or form. It might be moving, it might be drinking water, it might be doing something you care about, like getting the tax, or something you hate, like getting the taxes done. It doesn't matter. If you experience procrastination in any way, shape, or form, just be like, yes, me. And it's okay. No shame. Now, do you experience being wired but tired? So exhausted, want to sleep, but totally wired? Do you thumbs up?
Sorry.
Whoa.
I don't know what's going on with this. It's not. It's all right.
So, do you?
I don't know what's going on.
It's not. Slide it off.
It's not working.
So, do you experience needing stimulation to relax? Like some people with ADHD take like an amphetamine in order to calm down.
Really?
Yes, like ADHD drugs is like speed. It's like revs them up and that calms them down. So is that something anyone here experiences? Thumbs up if you do that. Do you experience anxiety without clarity? Like you don't know why you feel anxious. You know, sometimes we're anxious because we're anticipating something or we're excited about something, and it's, you know, sometimes it's just excitement shifted into a little bit of fear. But if you're not anticipating something and you're just experiencing anxiousness and you don't know why, thumbs up. Let me know if you're like, yes, that's something I experience. What about low joy from simple things? You know, are you someone that witnesses a beautiful sunset and are just like,
Meh.
Or a gorgeous flower? Someone's like, look at this flower. And you're like, yeah. Like just lacking joy in the simple things of life, or in, you know, even in great things, right? There's been periods of my life where something really amazing would happen and I was like, wow, that's really cool, but in my whole body was not responding in the way of joy. It was just like, especially with this one. He's like a excited Labrador about things, and then sometimes I'm like processing.
It's like, are you hearing what's happening?
Like this!
We're alive! My friend Johan, when I first met Johan, used to do that. I'd be so excited about everything, and then he'd be like, because he's from Eastern Europe and like Finland and Russia, and I'd be like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'd be so excited. And he'd be like, how do you really feel about it? Like he would sarcastically, but eventually I won him over to the light side.
Yeah, now he's all like, yay!
He's we helped each other.
Yeah.
Good friends help each other.
Exactly.
Recognize what's happening, I think.
Now, what about starting strong with something like your project, or you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to walk every day. I'm going to like some sort of thing that you want to do, and then not sustaining it, giving up on it 3 days in. Yeah, Kathleen's like me. Right? Yeah. Okay. So if simple life feels dull, it's not because you're dull. It's because your baseline has dropped. So, you know, when it's like, there's been times in my life where I felt like I was flatlining, where I was like, nothing's going like sad or happy. Everything's just like meh. And I think a lot of people operate in this place, and that's because your dopamine is depleted. So you don't need more willpower. You don't need this big reset. You need an environment. Tell them about what? Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
So you need an environment that supports this. And what with our phones, with our TVs, with our like disconnecting, we think we can operate in a vacuum and do it all alone, and we can't. Mm-hmm. And I've witnessed over and over again in the many, many years we've been coaching that when we activate other team members, other people, when their eyes are on like buddy systems, accountability groups, things like that, when you have eyes on you, you show up differently. You don't just... You know, because if left to our own devices, we are slippery suckers, because it's very easy to give up on yourself. It's much harder. Like, for example, if you go, I'm going to jog every single day, or go for this walk every single day, then it gets a bit cold or rainy or a bit hard, and you're like, not today. And then once you've missed one day, you're like, not the next day, or I feel tired, and you make up excuses. But if you joined a running group, and there's other people in that group that are like, where were you? We were waiting for you. We ran in the rain. We had the greatest time. Then the next day you'll get up if it's raining and you'll go jogging again, and it's like you had a human moment, you missed a day, and now you're back in the game. And it's because everybody else banded around you, and because you're being witnessed and seen. And there's a part of it that's ego for sure, where you're like, don't want to be seen as a quitter.
Yeah, at Primal Moves, like Kate and I have started going to this gym where you move like an animal sort of, and a lot of those moves, it was just you and I doing it, when it gets like, knowing that there's 80 other people that you're watching them do it, and then you go to the back of the line and you do it what they just did, there's this everyone around you is doing it. So it's really hard to quit in that environment.
Yeah.
Because you have people witnessing you and inspiring you and smiling at you.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool experience.
Yeah. So everything, and especially in this era of AI, which everyone's freaked out about, it was like, what does this future hold? The only way we can beat AI is by banding together as humans, is coming together and witnessing each other. And with COVID, everything, they want us separated. Yeah. The powers that be, because then you can be fearful, then you can be controlled. When we're fearful, we get disease, then they can medicate you. That's not what we want. We want a banding together, a bringing together of our resources so that we become stronger, more powerful, healthier, not needing the system to keep us scared and sick. We want to be powerful, strong, and in the rhythm of human life, which is what makes us incredible. Like, the body is exceptional. We just need to get out of the way of all of the modern interferences so that it can get back to its natural rhythms and heal rapidly and naturally. And that is what we've been committed to from day one, but we just didn't know how to bring it all in. And programs are, they're not done per se, but how many here have a million programs that they haven't finished? Courses in their computer, that was something they really care about, but they haven't finished it. They didn't go all the way through. And the reason is that you need the human aspect of that to see it through. And so that's why we created a program called, a community called Origin. And it's coming from, I've got our people over here that are already in, like our founders that are in Zoom. So if you're like, I want to be a founder, I want to go in, comment Origin right now, and we can bring you across into the Zoom because we're going to do a live Q&A with these guys right after. But Origin is about getting your body into the natural rhythms of what it is to be human and what it is to be powerful. And we created it around this cute philosophy that we kind of coined called caveman philosophy, because cavemen, guess what they were? Superhumans. And they didn't have every peptide or we are a part of this. We the sickness industry makes you confused and scared, but the wellness industry also is doing that, and we're a part of that. We want to own that and say we're sorry. We get so excited about health and all the new things that we have poured it into all of our people sometimes when they weren't ready for those levels of things.
Well, no amount of supplements or protocols or peptides or things are going to actually work unless you have the foundations of your house solid.
Yeah.
And that's what Origin has in it, is like the very foundations, giving you a system that you can actually show up repeatedly and build the foundation of your life in a way. Then when you do supplements and you do these protocols, they'll actually work because you have the foundation.
Yeah. There. It's like building your house on like shifting sand. Is like you can build and build and build as much as you want, but it's going to collapse. Whereas if you go and you get solid rock and then you build the foundation, you can build up as tall as you want. It doesn't matter. Your house isn't going to fall. And so that's really what we've seen. And we've seen, we've been in this game a very long time, like best part of a decade. And we've noticed when people choose simple rhythms that they stick with, even if it's just one specific thing, they get massive results. Yeah. But the problem is, how do you stay? How do you stay motivated? How do you stay with that one thing? And the antidote and the answer to that is being witnessed, being seen, heard, and loved. And so we're like, okay, let's create a community where everyone is seen, heard, and loved. No one, and it's not about how glorious you are, how amazing you are, that comes, but it's about how you show up, how you support others, how you look to be greatness for others, and so that's what this is built on, and it's built on the rhythms of human life. And the 5 rhythms is movement, nutrition, water, sleep, and community. And so those things is like every month we cycle into a new arena, and you can choose which action you're taking within that. And by the end of this, by a year, you will be in natural rhythms that make your body heal. Without stress, without pressure, without diet culture, without all of these things. Because cavemen didn't have any of that, yet they could lift things that were much heavier than their own body weight. They could run for miles. They could walk for miles. They did all these things without all the fluff. And we're going to, help you find ways to reconnect to your roots, reconnect to nature, reconnect to the rhythms of how bodies thrive in the most simple way that just is step by step.
Yeah, and creating a structure for you to do that.
Yes.
That's not like showing up for a call or anything. It's actually inside of a really amazing, powerful system that you can show up, you get rewarded for showing up, you inspire others, you're inspired by others, and it's an ecosystem, like a tribe.
And it's just about doing one little thing every day. It's not like long calls or long, there's nothing that, like, every busy person could do this. It's not about, I'm too overwhelmed. It's like, if you're overwhelmed, this is what you should be doing. If you're overwhelmed, write Origin right now. Like, just put Origin in. If you're like, I want to know more, I want to understand this, put Origin in. And if you're someone that's like, this sounds like me, I'm anxious without knowing, I'm procrastinating, I'm doing this, don't wait. Like, we have a founders members offer right now, which I think we're running low on. I think when you log in, you'll see this. There's only a few left. So get into the founders and just commit to a rhythm of your life, because it's less than 80 cents a day. It's like ridiculous. It's $170 cheaper than what it will be. So if you don't want to miss that, you want to get in, do Origin. And then now what we want to do is...
So you can DM us or comment. Whatever you're watching, if it lets you, if you can comment, and you'll get a link. But if not, just DM us on one of these platforms and you'll get an automated message to click on a link to get in to see more.
And the prequel to coming into Origin is a full dopamine depletion detox. So that's why we're talking about this, because it's something that people don't know about, but literally dictates everything that you care about and will dictate your level of success in life. And so it's so easily overlooked that I have no discipline, I've got terrible willpower, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's not that. It's basically you're dopamine depleted. And so we have that dopamine depletion detox in there. It's, again, something simple every single person can do. And this doesn't matter if you're a porn addict, if you are a sugar addict, if you are a scrolling addict, a TV addict, and I'm not talking about someone that just permanently, like, an addict is someone that continuously thinks about or needs to go back to this thing. And that is you craving that dopamine hit of whatever that thing is that you get, that you need. And it could be like when you first meet someone and there's an experience of love, you want them to text you all day long because it's like dopamine hit, and so it's like, it can be positive things, not just negative things, but when overdone, it becomes an addiction. It becomes a problem that's going to rob you of other things you care about in your life. And so we want to we want to share with you a little bit more so that you have some tools to actually navigate this and move into this. So should I tell you my story, or should you tell the tiger story?
Well, I shared a bit of the tiger story.
Okay.
You share yours. The tiger is just what we understand about the how dopamine works. It's there to motivate you to get the thing. When you actually get the thing, your dopamine release is not that much, and that's why some people who try to get a PhD, or they have some big degree they're working for, when they actually get it, there's actually a drop in dopamine. It's you're given all the dopamine in order to get the motivation to get the reward. But when you get it, people are expecting this big rush of, you're like, yay, I did it. And that's not how the human condition is worked. And that knowing that can set you up so you're not depressed or depleted when you do get the reward. Then understanding that it is, I guess it's the journey, not the destination. And I guess that's one way of summing up dopamine.
Yeah. I mean, there's a story of the guy that created Minecraft. And that was one of the most, such a successful game, and it was clean and not, kid friendly. And he sold that for billions of dollars and had everything at his hand, like fingertips, and he just sank. Because what gave him joy was creating this game and creating this thing. And then even the hit of, you have all the money in the world, you can do anything you want, you can buy anything you want, didn't give him any joy, and he sank into a deep depression. And so a lot of people do that. They think, one day when I'm a millionaire, one day when I have that job, one day when I have this thing, and you all live like that, right? Waiting for the perfect moment to enjoy your life or to have the thing. And then when you get that thing, you're like, oh, I thought it would be different. Hands up, thumbs up if you've experienced that in your life. You reach some peak, some massive, amazing thing, and you're like, oh, is that it? Like, is that it? And this is exactly what we're talking about. The dopamine then goes boom, straight down, and then you have to wonder why you cared so much, why you worked so hard, whatever it was to get that thing, and why you're now feeling so flat and deflated about it.
And this is in the bigger picture of the science of satisfaction. Like, once you hit that goal, how do you then create a worthy goal that's worth going for? And how you get to be who you get to become in pursuit of that thing is the actual thing. And the dopamine's released along when you wake up in the morning to motivate you towards that thing. But it's a lot of folks feel like the goal is the actual destination when it isn't. It's who you get to become. So choosing your goals and choosing these things you're going after could be really crafted around who you get to become in order to get that thing, rather than getting that thing. Because you'll get it, and you will, even if it's the fanciest car ever, you want a Lamborghini and you saved up for it and you worked for it for 30 years and you get it, like, you will be bummed. You might enjoy it for a few weeks, and then someone will scratch it, and then the rim will get scuffed, or your wife will scuff your rim on a curb. And then before you know it, you'll be like, is this it?
Yeah. And what you're saying is identity. So if you get the Lamborghini, but your identity doesn't meet that, like you feel like an imposter in it, or you try and put on an identity like, oh, now I must get some young model to match my Lamborghini. And then you're like, why does she not fulfill anything? Whatever it is, if you feel like an imposter with it, your identity hasn't moved with what you're creating. And Origin is really about creating the identity of someone that health is their baseline, that motivation is, like, they know how to shift from depletion to motivation with ease, with grace. And one of the ways is to do something hard. But anyway, let me tell my story. We can circle back to this in a second. So Paul and I, actually, we were discussing this morning. We somehow are two people that don't get addicted to anything. We just, anything that has addictive qualities, we can do, and then we can be just like, for example, we loved a glass of wine with dinner. We found we were like, hang on, this is creeping in a little too much. And we're like, okay, let's just stop. And we stopped for 4 months, didn't touch anything. Whenever we decide, okay, that's enough, we can easily stop something with no hardship with it. So we have very healthy systems in terms of addiction. Now, some people are genetically predisposed to addiction, and it can be passed through. So I just want you to be aware that clearly our genealogy isn't so much for that. I haven't ever noticed my mother or anyone like that having addictive qualities, but we also know with epigenetics you can turn off or on genes. So we don't want to rest on that. If you're like, oh, my dad was an addict, that doesn't mean you're going to be an addict. So just epigenetics is an amazing thing. It's a whole nother story, and we're trying to keep things simple here. But what I want you to know is, we were talking about this, and it's how rare it is to be in a relationship with someone else that doesn't have that.
Just a lot of vices or
yeah.
Get hooked on things, and then your life reduces the quality of your life real quickly.
Yeah. So we're like, how lucky are we? And for me, one thing that was starting to really impact my life and our life is I got, it's an automatic recurring type habit to social media. And it would be like any time I needed to think about something hard or get something or, and then it just became an automatic response. If I would open my phone to send an email, do a text, something like that, I would automatically switch over and do a quick scroll on Instagram. So that I, and it was just a habit. And even if I only did it for 30 seconds, 5 minutes, sometimes an hour, it was then robbing me of what I was doing, where my motivation was. It was completely depleting me.
It was hijacking.
Hijacking everything. And not only that, for me, when I'm with my child, I like, especially in the hard moments, the reason I've never struggled with parenthood is because I always think about, if we're having a really hard moment, I project myself out to being 60 or 80. And if I was that age and I could come back to this moment, what would I give to be in that moment? Doesn't matter how big a tantrum or whatever he's going through. Who would I be if I got to, like, in the future, visit this moment just for that time? And so it changes how I respond to the moment. I'm not like frustrated or like lashing out. I'm like, oh, I would do anything in my 60s to be with my little guy, no matter what mood he's in or what he's going through. And so how would I respond? So I'm really great at that, but I look at every moment like it's that precious. And so I noticed, I'd be going and doing something, we'd be together, and I'd go and make him something in the kitchen, and if I'd automatically like press that, then sometimes 5 minutes or 6 minutes could pass before I woke up to myself again. And that was 6 minutes I just lost with connection of my child. And I see it in parks. I see, parents, their child's playing and they're just this, like not looking up. And then the child then goes, okay, this device is more important than me. They're not watching me play. They're not doing stuff. I don't do things like that, but I was noticing. And then our connection was faltering because I was not in my body. I was not present. I was dopamine depletion because I kept being distracted. My creativity, gone. My overwhelm, present. I couldn't move anything forward. It was like I was really making me suffer. And I had all the things on my phone saying, you spent this time to switch off, and that would work to a degree, but you could always override it.
It was automatic.
And so I found a way. I was like, enough. And I had an app to try and stop it. It didn't work. And so I found out on ChatGPT how to literally block it from my phone. And I did that. And what it gave me back was astronomical. Like not being able, and I can't even look at a website, it's like, can be annoying at times. You can override it, but it's quite annoying. And so my phone became something that wasn't necessary. I did my work on my computer and my phone just was like whatever. And I got...
That's why you lost it at the Super Bowl.
And I lost it because I was like so not present to my phone. I didn't need it in any way. But what it gave me was insanity. How much it was robbing me, I wasn't present to until after I then started experiencing, and the way our connection has grown and been much better since. The way I show up as a parent, even though it was excellent, is much better because I'm fully present. I'm not thinking about this thing I just saw. I'm wanting to Google or understand the story because there was only a part of the story or whatever. My mind wasn't placed in things that didn't matter. And for any of you that have done identity code, what our reticular activated system is so important to getting what we want. And if we keep messing it up with other people's stuff, we'll never get what we want. And so that was my addiction, which I then did set this all up. And now I lost my phone because I didn't care about it. I haven't had to put all of these bans on my phone, and I don't look at it anymore, because I recognize how much better my life is without that distraction. And so I'm not tempted to click on it. And if I am again, I will just do the same process and completely remove it. So removing the thing, and so they talk about having 30 days of removal of the thing, whether it's, porn, or, obviously you can't not eat, but you can not eat sugar by removing all aspects of sugar from the house. So there's no temptation. You literally can't. You can, all of these things that are hijacking your life or taking over your life, you can remove them for 30 days. Now, again, it might be really hard because for us, we don't have that addictive quality, but for someone else, it might be really painful. And so the only way you're going to navigate that and stay to it is if you have other people witnessing you. You have a tribe that cares about you having the best life of your life all the time, and health and vitality as a baseline.
Yeah. And showing up for others, showing up, not just showing up and being responsible for someone else getting their life, in a sense. That's a really powerful motivator, is when you show up for others.
Yeah. And so other ways to restore your dopamine.
Yeah, I mean, Huberman talked a lot about this in this podcast that I remember listening to it quite a while ago, and when I don't do this, especially caffeine, like delaying caffeine 60 minutes to 90 minutes, there's a massive drop of energy later in the day. There's some of these things that if you just delay it, like if you delay the thing that you normally would just easily grab, if just the practice of delaying it, you're almost like raising your baseline of dopamine. And I think one of the reasons you and I aren't addicted to a lot of things is our dopamine system isn't hijacked. We're not at a deficit. Like, our baseline's pretty high of like feel good. So and that does come from
eating organic food, not eating processed food,
getting
no sugar,
morning sunlight, or movement, and
movement as a baseline. It's like it's a non-negotiable that we move our bodies every single day.
My cold showers that help too.
Actually, and that's something we haven't touched on, is one of the ways to instantly improve your dopamine is to go and do something hard.
Yeah.
And that can be just going and having a cold shower for a minute, because then you're like, woo, that was hard. Something you don't want to do. I'm going to do my taxes on time. I'm going to sit down and just get it done until it's done. You don't want to do it, but once it's done, it's going to raise your dopamine level. Like doing things that you procrastinate, just going, I don't want to go walking in the rain, but I'm just going to get up and do it. When you come back, your dopamine levels are very high.
Yeah, even doing 20 push-ups, some of you, that could be on your knees, or 10 push-ups, whatever's hard for you, squats, meditating, taking something that for you is, if you're just going to always do what's easy and available, your baseline of your dopamine will just be like,
it'll keep going lower, and then that's when you get that neutral life where you're like, meh, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? I'm depressed. I'm anxious.
And that's where that choose your hard comes in. Like, you can choose that hard thing now, or you can choose it later. So moving now, choosing your hard means, like, for me, if I'm going to work out now, that means later my life will be easy in my 70s, 80s, 90s. Like, if I choose easy now, my 70s, 80s, and 90s is going to be really, really hard. And this is a slightly different conversation, but choosing things that are hard for you now is you actually have the choice. But if you do just default mode into chasing dopamine and the things that are easy and fun and like instant reward, then later things are going to be really hard. And so there is an aspect of this to raise your dopamine, choose something hard now rather than having it just become hard later.
Delaying gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choose your hard.
And the modern world is programming you to just grab for joy. That's why people have too much stuff in their house, because they shop and shop and shop because they want a dopamine hit. They scroll and scroll and scroll instead of sleep. I
wonder if my addiction to thrift stores is an addiction, because I'll take I don't buy a lot of stuff, but we're always like, I take Austin
What
there
can
and
we
he's
buy?
like, find like a vintage little Batman for $1. Like it's a little Batman Pez dispenser. And I'm like, whoa.
And now he's like, we need to go to a thrift store. We're
really good at like, so we're good at not buying stuff, but just going there and being like, that's $1? Like I find that stuff exciting.
A bargain. I was like, and one of your favorite things to say is like, especially if I want to get anything on sale, he's like, it's free if you don't get it.
It's like it's 30% off. It's like it'd be 100% off if you didn't get it. Yeah. Marshalls. That's your Marshalls.
Oh no, that's my downfall. So when you are experiencing a dopamine depletion, like if you choose to say, okay, I'm gonna stop this thing for 2 weeks or 30 days or whatever it is, you will experience restlessness, boredom, anxiety. You will experience the things because your brain is wired to like seek it. But then after 3 or 4 days, you're going to go into calm focus. You're going to sleep better.
Yeah.
And then as you progress on, natural motivation, more emotional range will happen. Simple things feel good again. And then so when the constant stimulation drops, that you're giving it, any one of those things, news can be an addiction to news and the drama of the world and all that sort of stuff. All of that's depleting you. So when you take it out, ordinary life will become vivid again, and that's what we want, because when life is vivid, we're running after our purpose. We're creating things. Yeah. We feel good in our body. We sleep better, and that's the whole purpose of Origin. Is how do we get into the rhythms of life when before there was all these distractions, so that our bodies can heal. When our bodies are in the right environment, they will heal without all the medications, without all the extra stuff that makes you confused, sick, tired, and stuck in the system.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So this, you're not lazy, you're not a lack of discipline, you're not a bad person. This is biological. It's just your brain, right? And so we have to learn how to navigate these things out, and to be the controller of your brain, not as a default or in response to the brain's needs or cravings, right? So it's environmental. We need people. We need an environment that sets us up for success.
And you can change it. It is fixable, but it is hard to do it alone.
Yes.
And that's why we created Origin, so you can do it with some cool people and us. And get your foundation of your house built so that your dreams and these things that you want to, you can build your building higher because you'll have your foundation strong. And once you get those things, your sleep, your eating real food, your hydration, and your community, and these very foundational things, once you get them solid, everything else just becomes easy.
Yeah.
And you have energy, and you have
and people, you have community, and so we intend to, and then there's a fun community aspect of this, where we have fireside conversations. There will in the future be live retreats where we gather, probably in places where we can have real fireside conversations. We want to encourage people's poetry, storytelling, singing. All of this it's not just Paul and I showing you stuff or doing stuff. It is like showing the magic of each person and how they show up in the world, and encouraging all the things that make you uniquely human and uniquely you. And then once you're in these rhythms of life, creativity flourishes. Your way you connect with people flourishes. So all of this is inside of this beautiful community that we're creating, and we want to call in the best people to be our founders, because you guys are co-creators in this. You'll get the most of us because we're going to be in there dropping all the bombs of all sorts of why you're doing this, what it does with your body scientifically, what these patterns or rhythms create for your life and for your community at large.
Yeah.
So so don't wait, because if you wait, you won't get the best of it. Just come on in, Origin, and we're about to jump across to our founders right now and have a little session with them. So if you come in Origin, I know Bettina's going to shift you into the private Zoom and give you the link for that. So don't mess around. Just get on in there.
We're gonna do a short Q&A.
And if you're watching this in if you're watching this the replay, and you jump in, we'll be able to send you the replay of the Zoom. So you can not miss out on all of this. So
that's right. So inside of Origin, we're going to remove the friction. We're going to build some rhythm, normalize your effort, reduce your stimulation so you're not overwhelmed, rebuild your drive. And the cool thing is we get to do that all together.
Yeah.
So comment Origin and we will send you the way in. Origin, Annalise. We'll get it to you, Annalise.
She's
in there.
You're already in.
I thought that was... Okay, bye, everybody. We're doing this next week, one more. Is that right?
Last one is next week, the last fireside conversation. And then we have our party. Our Origin opening party.
Boots and pants.
And so that's going to, so you want to be in so that you can be on the private Zoom next week and then part of the party.
Yeah, don't do it alone, man.
Yeah. Life is meant to be, we're all better together. Life is meant to be shared, so.
And if you comment and the automation doesn't work, just DM and it should work there. Otherwise, there's the links in the bios or go to freedom-alchemist.com. Okay.
And when you do Origin, then you're going to get all the information about what it's all about. So just comment, suss it out, but don't delay. Don't wait until some perfect time or some perfect day. This is the thing that will get you to everything that you want. It is a vehicle of community and commitment. So, yeah.
Okay.
Love you.
Bye. Y'all. Bye. Bye.
All right. Hi, guys.
Let me end the stream on 16 channels over here. Okay. Bye, everybody.